What? Why are you shaking your head?
You're welcome. Good morning. Welcome to Hump Day with Hansen here on a Wednesday on Hump Day, September 24th. I am John Hansen. That is Tommy T-Bone, Thomas Tipple over there producing this here live stream, also offering up some co-hosting possibilities here because he's good like that. He's Mr. Versatility. Well, I was just telling Thomas down here, moving down to the deep south, there's like some weird allergy thing that has gotten to me for it's like 10 days in the spring and the fall. And boy, I've been dealing with this puppy this week. It's like I'm in a little bit of a fog, a little overly exhausted, but I did get a good night's sleep last night. So I think I'm good to go. So we'll try to offer up some content here at the top as we always do. And we're not real big on the who do I start questions here. It is Wednesday morning. We're still working on certainly all the analysis, though we do have projections up and we can look at that. I have not done mine yet. I'm usually pretty late on those. Today's Wednesday. I will get them up tonight. Probably I got to run out tonight in the evening. So I will get them. I will effort to get them up. But I also today, by the way, I do record the week 4 matchup points with Graham and Brad. It's a pretty busy day for yours truly. I wake up, do some research, do this, do the VSiN show, do some research, record the pod, so I'm actually working more this year than last. I don't know why. I don't know how that happened. I'm supposed to be, doing less, but maybe it's just old age. I think what it is we have so much information.
Yeah.
And so much data. Like it takes me multiple days to get through it all. But we've kind of settled into looking at my top 10 lessons learned for each week. And by the way, the National Fake You Out League is in full effect. All right. So we're getting faked out left and right. You got to be careful. And I've already done this myself, overreacting because it is never been more of a week-to-week league. Real quick, Thomas, to that point, why don't you address your Baltimore Ravens in terms of what is going on? Because I played a prop for Lamar over the rushing, and that was, of course, that was the worst rushing performance I've ever seen from Lamar. I haven't looked at the tape, but I get the sense that Detroit has made it a point of emphasis because we all know they've been getting run all over by running quarterbacks. I got to give Detroit credit, but Lamar looked far less explosive, Thomas. So what's up there?
He's doing that thing that he does where he refuses to run, like he's making it a point that he doesn't. But also he looked a little bit banged up. Like he looked a little. This is how I describe it. When you can kind of feel a hamstring pull coming and if you just fully extend that one time, it's going to happen. That's kind of what it felt like. It just looked like he was, like you said, a little slogged along. But there was a point where they were running like 2 spies at a time. They weren't going to let him do it. They dropped everybody because they have a turnstile at right guard in Falele. And they they got sacked, 6-7 times? It was just an all-you-could-eat buffet for the front for the Lions. And shout out Brett Whitefield. He and I were the only ones on the brand. Everyone picked Ravens, and he and I went against the grain and picked Detroit for this game. They're in trouble. I'll say this: they're in trouble, and Lamar's rushing is, I think, until they solve this blitz problem, gonna be an issue. They got him a few times early, and then they just immediately shut it down. So just the Ravens being the Ravens, Guru.
Yeah, that's not a championship defense whatsoever.
No. Fire Zach Orr immediately. Please get him out. Get him 2 years in a row. Get him out.
When you combine that fact with the fact that they already lost to the Bills, Derrick Henry is clearly not ascending. He's descending. Now, Ricard out has hurt them a lot. right?
Yeah,
But
Henry
when you add it all up, it's not looking promising here. That makes my Buffalo Bills prediction look pretty good for the Super Bowl.
Oh yeah, it's the battle between the Chargers and the Bills. The Ravens will get in the playoffs just simply because the rest of their division is so terrible. The Browns are terrible, even though they have the best defense in the NFL. Obviously the Bengals are going to bungle, and then they're going to be so far behind with Browning. That was an awful showing.
Oh,
Pittsburgh just looks terrible.
yeah, they're terrible
Up and down. So I think Baltimore just gets in. I have a feeling like the Colts are just going to replace the Texans, and they're going to play the Ravens in round 1, and then the Ravens will end up doing their thing, losing in round 2. So you're right though. That defense, play them. Every Kansas City, play them, because they couldn't stop a nose. Kareem Hunt this week, one of my favorite starts. Oh, you want to play Isaiah Pacheco? Do it. They couldn't stop a nosebleed. So
yeah.
They made David Montgomery, right? Look, he was primed Derrick Henry. Like, it was a laughable effort.
It was unbelievable. I mean, the O-line, you also have to give credit to the other guys. The O-line, I mean, they absolutely kicked ass. But here's a lesson. You mentioned the Steelers, and, they're not going anywhere, guys. Like, they're not, they stink, basically. I mean, that's probably a little harsh, but, I understood what they're trying to do. Veteran team, you make the trade for what's his face, the corner.
You got Ramsey.
All that. Rodgers has been all right, but they're just not good enough. DK, I saw the data on DK. Now, he's had a couple tougher matchups. Let's not totally bail from DK here, but it's bad. Separation score is bad. They don't have a tight end we can use. The only good news is Warren, who, I was in on Warren, and I kept saying all summer, like, Rodgers is going to want this guy, the veteran, and I'm not a Caleb Johnson guy, although freaking 2 weeks ago, I'm like, you know what? I do think Caleb Johnson still needs to be a factor if they're going to have any chance to have an offense that's reliable, but
we talked about him last night. Speaking about DK, do you know his expected fantasy points per game is 10.9?
He's getting a lot of touch. Looks, yeah.
56th in the league. Jalen Warren is 10.8. DK Metcalf is only 0.1 expected fantasy points per game.
Oh, really?
Of Jalen Warren, yes.
Wait a second. DK's only 0.1?
Yeah, 0.1. So Jalen Warren is 10.8.
Right.
DK Metcalf is 10.9.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So they're close.
DK Metcalf has fewer expected fantasy points per game than Zach Ertz through 3 games.
Man.
That's brutal.
The only other thing I want to say is, as I mentioned before with Calvin Austin, I lost a damn prop on him in week 2, and it was open for the play. Rodgers' downfield throwing has been awful. He missed Austin, but Austin did score, so he's done it 2 weeks out of 3. So I think in a deeper league, and you're just deliberating between him every week, just start him.
Yeah,
just start him. As I wrote, like, he's not going to do it every week, but who else isn't going to do it every week? Terry McLaurin. You're viewing he might be more consistent than Terry McLaurin.
Well, Terry McLaurin is getting a second opinion on what ails him, and you've been in the game long enough to know when you hear second opinion,
you're looking for the answer that you want.
It's not great. It's not great for Terry here. Speaking of which, I just want to address. I see your super chats. You guys are amazing. We will get to those. You will be first priority in the question portion of Hump Day with Hansen. We are not going to let those go. As soon as we're done with this, we'll go right to your questions, and it will be you guys first. So we love and appreciate that. Just lock in, sit tight, and enjoy the ride.
Yeah, and we'll try to. I mean, we'll do the who do I start questions. It is a little early in the week, but I definitely like the bigger picture questions, season long questions. What's this guy's outlook for the whole year? Another lesson in the same game while we're here is the Patriots. I mean, they're week to week. It's a complete week to week proposition. They still don't have any good receivers. I personally still don't trust Hunter Henry. And again, I know we have some people on staff who loved Hunter Henry this year. I was a huge Hunter Henry guy coming out, and I've flirted with being all in on Hunter Henry a number of times, and sometimes I am. But week 2 we saw you just can't totally trust him. It's a matchup thing, and it's a whole different staff from last year. They just don't throw it to him consistently. Like it. Some games he's the guy, some games he's not. And we saw again with Kayshon Boutte that they don't have a number one receiver that we can trust. They don't have any wideouts we can trust. I actually got into my head that Diggs would do something in this game, but he didn't. And they're spreading the ball around too. May seems to be throwing it pretty well. The O-line's decent. Obviously the fumbling, I mean, I lost that damn Ramondre prop. That was a lock if he doesn't fumble. But hey, he fumbled twice. Then Gibson fumbled, of course. So that is a runway clearing for Trevion Henderson. So it's time. Yeah. He's going to start getting more volume. And, Thomas, the good thing about Henderson is the more volume he gets, the better his chances of ripping off a big play, period. That's it. That's what we're looking for. The catches will be there. So I think it'll be good even if he doesn't score, quite frankly, like 12, 13 points, even if he doesn't score.
Yeah, the only thing that concerns me about Trevion, I'm sure you remember this when we were talking about Judkins and Trevion Henderson early in Hump Day in week 1, talking about how Graham charted yards created for Judkins, right, and he looked better at forcing missed tackles. Yeah. Do you know that Trevion Henderson has been charted to force of 1 forced missed tackle on the season so far of his 19 carries? That's not ideal. No. He out-touched the other Pats running backs significantly. I think it was 21-4-2 after or at least snaps after the Gibson fumble, and his efficiency did not look great. My problem with this offense for everyone was that the offense was probably terrible, but the Patriots have one of the most favorable schedules to have. Now, I don't believe Carolina is this 30-0 type team, but you've got Carolina, a potential shootout, coming from behind versus Buffalo. They have New Orleans, Tennessee, the number 1 defense in the NFL in Cleveland, a terrible Atlanta team, a Tampa Bay team that's looked iffy. They get the Jets, then the Bengals, and then the Giants. It is a favorable schedule for Trevion and Drake May coming up.
Yeah, no doubt. Now, do you think Trevion might be another Chase Brown?
No, I think he has a better skill set overall. Like, he projected actually as a 3-down back, which is why the draft capital spoke for itself. But I am a little concerned. I am a little concerned with the reception stuff with Trevion, and
they kind of look at Ramondre as, once the first fumble came, it looked like Ramondre was kind of like the 3rd down back.
Yes.
With Gibson. So, they didn't want to totally remove Ramondre from the mix. So,
the coach speak. If you listen to the press conference, they said, hey, we're going to need him. Yeah. And then Ramondre said the same thing. So it's a little concerning, but I think Variable is a good enough coach to get his best players the ball, but we'll see.
But then again, if he fumbles again, one more next fumble, now we got to sit him. So that'll probably happen too. Another lesson takeaway out of this past week. What do we got here? Well, we can go right to the Vikings here, of course. I have not actually paid attention. I've been too busy to what the quote-unquote narrative is. Sometimes, that's you kind of get an advantage with me in that regard because I don't really listen to other opinions. I kind of form my own opinion. Sometimes you get blinded by other opinions, honestly. But I don't know what they're saying, but I know what I know, that we do, in fact, have a quarterback controversy here in Minnesota with Carson Wentz. But, I will say this is why I put all the chips in. And again, it wasn't a risky proposition being all in on J.J. McCarthy. It's like, oh, my God, what am I going to do? My 14th round pick didn't pan out. I guess I just quit. That was the point. Like, there's almost all upside with McCarthy. But can I push back a little bit? I mean, it wasn't like so. Carson Wentz missed some wide open throws, one for a touchdown down the seam. I don't think there is a quarterback controversy here much, John, except for maybe some wins and losses. He had a negative 1.8% completion percentage. Right, he's off. Right.
He threw one deep ball. This game got out of reach
Right.
quickly. He had a 12% sack rate. He took 3 sacks. That is a quarterback stat. And again,
all the same problems, holding on to the ball.
Yes.
That elongated delivery, the mechanics, ball look. Yeah. Oh yeah.
It was the Bengals.
I know.
He gets Pittsburgh and then Cleveland and then the bye and then Philly. So, but here's the problem. The Minnesota schedule is tough. Pittsburgh, Cleveland bye, Philly, Chargers, Detroit. I mean, start J.J. McCarthy versus Baltimore, like, damn, in week 10. But I don't know how much of a controversy that's going to be. But I don't think Wentz is going to not go full Wentz here.
They're gonna get Addison back. Of course, part of the problem has been they've had all these injuries.
Yes.
It's like you get Darisaw back finally, and he was great, but then you lost Donovan Jackson. I mean, It's like, are you kidding me? But look, I do believe that JJ would have played well in this game.
Agreed.
They ran the ball very well. Obviously, that's huge. Hawkinson, all of a sudden, Hawkinson looks great. Our guys Brett Whitefield and Graham Barfield scared me a little bit last week because they're like, he doesn't look very good. Well, guess what? Now after this game, which helped the data a lot, I saw he's like 3rd in average separation score at tight end. So I think we're looking all right here, getting Addison back. Again, the point is simple. Yes, Carson Wentz wasn't perfect, but he also joined the team like freaking 9 days ago. And where did he stand for fantasy this week? I bet you was top 15 this week, even though he didn't do anything ultra special. Yeah. I just think that looking at it from a fan's perspective, and again, nobody wanted JJ more than me, but I think I'd rather see what we see with Wentz and just kind of go with it until we can't go with it anymore. I'd rather have JJ come in as a hero than go with JJ. JJ's not ready. JJ unravels, and now our hopes and dreams are with Carson Wentz. I think I'd rather the former there. I think I'd rather, again, it's a week-to-week thing. You see how he looks, all that. Who knows how much they're protecting JJ. But I think I'd rather sink or swim for now with Wentz. Again, if Wentz stinks, okay, now we're just all in on JJ. But I think I'd rather go that way. So we'll see how it plays out. But I did actually pick up Wentz in a league. If you had JJ, I mean, it's not the worst option. I think the schedule is not that bad overall, Thomas. I mean, I know they got some tough spots here, but
it's just where do you put JJ back in if you're trying to protect him a little bit? So he's already ruled out of Pittsburgh. I wouldn't put him in versus Cleveland. I mean, look what he did. Well, look what they did to the Packers offense. They just absolutely obliterated them. Then you got the bye week, and then he comes out against Philly, Chargers, Detroit.
I know.
Where do you put him back in? Baltimore?
It's a Carson Wentz revenge game in week 7.
Yeah.
That it greatly depends on how he plays this week. Like if I think he'll do all right against Pittsburgh. If he does well against Cleveland, Carson Wentz, the team that shut down Jordan Love pretty much last week in the Packers, then I'm playing him against the Eagles. And again, we're just going through the schedule and see what happens. If he continues to play well, go with him. Knowing we have JJ to go to almost at any moment, though, down the stretch. I think it would be an unbelievable story. It would be bad for Carson Wentz, but if Carson Wentz is this year's Sam Darnold,
I was actually just about to ask you a question. You're a massive Vikings fan. Sam Darnold has actually looked incredibly good, in my opinion. He has looked way better than I had expected.
Right.
So my question is to you: do you regret watching the Vikings move off of Sam Darnold, given what you've seen so far this year? Just as a fan, I don't mean for fantasy. I just have this question because you're obviously a big fan of the Vikings. Would you have done that differently? Would you have paid Sam?
No.
Okay.
Zero regret. Zero. And I'll tell you why.
Okay.
Sam Darnold had a 0.0% chance of winning a Super Bowl as the starting quarterback for the Minnesota Vikings. 0. It's not happening. We've had that guy before, and we've tried to make a run. We try with Randall Cunningham. Nope. We try with Brett Favre, cast off, all that. Nope. No, we need our guy, homegrown, all that. That's it. No, I'm zero regret on Darnold. And by the way, I'm not surprised Darnold's doing well. It's a very similar offense,
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of play action under center. And that's what he's good at, basically. Quick, defined reads, you know what I mean? Pretty good offense there for Samuel Darnold. But hey, it's a good offense in Minnesota, obviously. They put up 48 points. Granted, a lot of it was the defense. We already spent way too much time on that. Let's see what else. Well, the Bengals, I mean, we're in trouble. Now, the one thing I will say about the NFL nowadays is I'm always worried and looking out for like complete implosions. And I've had some false signs in the past where it looks like, oh, we're looking at a complete implosion, but then things even out. It's almost like pro wrestling. You know what I mean, Thomas?
I do.
Things even out to where you always got a chance. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But they are in trouble, man. I mean, they can't run the ball at all. And I do apologize for giving Chase Brown the love I did. And it's funny because I said I always attached with my Chase Brown analysis dating back to last year, like, hey, he's not the greatest inside runner, guys. Like, the vision might not be great, but great receiver, and you're tied to a great offense.
That's it. The process pick. I don't think you should apologize for giving Chase Brown the love. He was a process pick. The entire thing hinged on Joe Burrow staying healthy. And Guru, you can't predict the type of injuries that Joe Burrow consistently has. Like, we might be talking about like a what if type player with Joe Burrow at this point. Like, it is. Came out later in college, and it seems like every other season he misses 8 to 10 games, and then he's going to come back next year. He's going to win comeback player of the year. He's going to throw 5,200 yards and 51 touchdowns. We're all going to fade him completely and have egg on our face because of it, and then we're all going to buy back in again, and then he's going to suffer a 10-week injury.
There's something unusual with Joe Burrow. There's something there, and I've been a huge Burrow guy, but I know he's got a little social anxiety. I know that he's not really good at interviews, and I think I told you before. I communicated non-verbally with him once. It was weird, but he's a strange cat in some ways. But there's always that line between genius and insanity, kind of. You know what I mean? Like I used to always say that Tom Brady was crazy. I used to say Antonio Brown was crazy before he was crazy. People were like, "Why is he crazy?" I'm like, "You can't be that good and not be nuts." I'm sorry. What was he, a 5th round pick? He's so competitive that it's like that guy's next level. Like he's a little crazy. Anyway, what else? Eagles. Look, man, they must be dragged out of the leather helmet era. You must drag them out of the leather helmet era. And what I mean by that is you have to have a 17-point lead in the second half, as the Rams did, to get them out of their shell, to get them to open it up and throw the ball. Period. That's it. They don't trust Hurts and all that. I thought that they would just simply have to throw it more. Period. End of discussion, because they wouldn't run the ball as well, which they're not at all. But, they still have questions about her. I still have a lot of problems with Philly. I would trade away Brown or Devontae Smith, quite frankly, because they don't want to play the way they played last week. The only way they're going to play that way is if they're playing from behind. And then now we have a floor that has been dropped because we don't have a good coordinator, Thomas.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I took a call from a good friend of mine at halftime. He was at the game. And I've never heard him this upset. A season ticket holder, all that. Shout out to him, though. I won't even name him, but he probably won't get this. But he was saying that people in the stands were calling out better plays for the down they were in than the Eagles were.
Yeah.
and they were pissed. But then, of course, we all know what happened. But again, don't count on that happening every week. Now, maybe there'll be a few more shootouts than we expect, but that's not how they want to play. So it's really annoying because Jalen Hurts is a stud for this fake football thing. I have a rule. Here's one for you. If your quarterback runs 10 or more times, you lose 7 points. How about that to offset it a little bit? Because it's aggravating when you got a guy playing in the 1940s basically, and he's great for fantasy.
Yeah, I just looked at the schedule. I'm big on schedule watching after week 4, right?
Yeah.
'Cause now we have it. I mean, Tampa Bay, they could push them. No Mike Evans, no Godwin. I don't know. Denver, Bo Nix has looked
Terrible.
rough in his second year, but decent defense might be able to push him. Then you get the Giants. Who knows with Jackson Dart now?
They won't throw. They won't throw in that game.
Minnesota, like you said, could go either way. And then you get a division game against the Giants, bye week. And then you get Green Bay, Detroit. Those could be big games. And then Dallas, they'll probably want to stomp them out. But then you get Chicago, Chargers, Vegas, Washington, and Buffalo. Like, this team is probably winning 15 games this year. And I think they're in. I said this. I think they are in their. They're in their Kansas City Chiefs era. I think they care about football in February. I don't think they care about football in September.
What does Nick Sirianni do? Can someone please tell me? I mean,
he gets excited. He throws.
If I played for him, you see that speech afterward?
No,
if I played for him, I would just be looking at him and observing. Well, yeah, I don't listen to a word this guy says. I'm sorry. He's just too weird. That's just me. He's a mascot. I don't know, man. Anyways, speaking of the Broncos and Bo Nix, I don't know what we're doing here with Bo Nix and the Broncos. I don't get it. This looks like a little bit of a sophomore slump.
It does.
But the personnel is just not good enough. They stink. I mean, they don't have anybody. We thought Troy Franklin was a thing. No, that's a Charlie Brown, Lucy football situation. I will say, I think maybe they lean into the running game a little more. RJ Harvey is a good buy low. Their O-line is blocking it up really well for the run. I had some good data on that. Scattaboo. Yes, he did the Fandango. I mean, I had Scattaboo on my list. He was one of my targets. I was anti-Tracy, really. I ranked Scattaboo over the ADP, all that, but I didn't push him because he was hurt for most of the summer. We didn't really see him. But, man, bowling at China Shop, you name it, man. I know it was only one game. There's a lot of hype now, but I think we're looking great with Scattaboo if you took him as a flex. Another lesson, Ricky can go. Ricky. What's that?
He ran 42. He's run 42 routes already, Scattaboo. Now, the Tyrone Tracy stuff, he had, I believe he had 6 or 9 carries heading into that game. So they were clearly still working on a split, but it's the receptions that really impressed. It was 10 reception. Well, he didn't have 10 receptions, I don't think, in that game, but he had plenty of receptions. He's got 10 for 87 at this point in the year. I don't know if Jackson Dart is going to check it down as much as Russ did in that game, but
right.
If Jackson Dart opens up some rushing lanes, I mean, Scattaboo is going to go crazy.
Yeah, I think the latter is more likely to happen, I would think. But they got to get Andrew Thomas, man. I'd say this. Forget about the Giants if Andrew Thomas is out. It's like the most valuable left tackle in football. Ricky can go. I mean, we loved Ricky and Ricky loves us in fantasy. I got to score. I am a little worried. Certainly, we all know no Juwan Jennings, so he's not going to go off. But that's a pretty good sign that he's producing big time with 2 different damn quarterbacks. And it's not like he's played a ton of games here for these Niners. So I think we're looking really good with Ricky because they don't have anybody else. We'll see about Jennings this week. Love Ricky. I mean, a thought did cross my mind to maybe sell high because the vibes are cataclysmic almost with Bosa on IR. But, I mean, I can't do it. I'm just going to cling to Ricky and hope he can get it done, stay healthy because he's looking great. And Ricky's good.
I kind of want more 49ers if Bosa is gone. The more their defense struggles, the more they're going to have to play some offense. And Purdy practiced all 3 days last week a little bit.
Yes, true.
He's projected to play again because Mac Jones got himself hurt. He aggravated his PCL.
Right.
I mean, we're getting Brock Purdy back, Jennings back, Pearsall back with still no Kittle.
Yeah.
I'm more inclined to be back in on this offense because they are ahead. They need to keep their lead. They're going to try to get healthy. And your guy Pearsall, Guru, has been kind of a breath of fresh air for the team with his deep play.
He's so good.
He's been really, really good.
Yeah,
really
he's been
good.
great. It's awesome. You just love him. I mean, the guy's one of my favorite players of all time that I've ever interviewed out of hundreds, quite frankly. He might be one on the list.
He's 22 first read targets this year. He's 281 receiving yards on only 16 receptions. He has a 0.22 targets per route run.
You know what my theory is?
Good.
You know what my theory is? I don't know Kyle Shanahan, but we all know of him and we know his legacy. I've actually talked with him multiple times, many times. He is a hard ass type of guy, but a lot of people used to tell me when I worked in DirecTV for 10 years, because I was very involved in that. And they would always say, oh, you're tough, but fair. In my dealings with people, maybe, a producer or something, never mean or anything like that, but fair, tough, but fair. That's what Shanahan is. He's tough, but he's fair. And my contention has been Kyle Shanahan is a frustrated athlete. Basically, he's a receiver. I always say, you know what? I bet you Kyle Shanahan sees a lot of himself in Ricky Pearsall. I'm just saying that's what I think. One other, Jags have too many Jags. Are you buying the Brenton Strange phenomenon? I must say, as we did on the podcast, I have been singing Brenton Strange's name to the tune of "People Are Strange."
Yeah, I know. I edited that, so I definitely know that. If you remember, Guru, last year when we started this hump day with Hansen, Brenton Strange was one of my first must-add sleepers last year. Just like for anyone that knows my history with Dynasty Points, when Tucker Kraft was a rookie, he was my favorite tight end sleeper. I said, get both tight ends, and one of them is going to sort themselves out. That has happened. Like Brenton Strange was for me last year, a must-add type player, so much so that our own Ryan Heath rolled his eyes at me live when I mentioned him as a must-add because Evan Ingram was there. I'm buying Brenton Strange because I think he is a good football player, and they are seeing it. Their quarterback is terrible. And a piece came out about drops and dropped air yards and all this. That has been a story with Trevor Lawrence his whole career.
100%.
A dropped ball is also a quarterback problem. It is not always a wide receiver problem. I am buying this Brenton Strange thing. I think he's a really good player. I moved him up my dynasty rankings, which I have updated and published at fantasypoints.com, which you can go and check out right now. You can use the QR code on the screen if you want to.
See if you have him higher than I did real quick.
Let's have a look.
Brenton Strange, no one remembers his name. That's what I've been singing because nobody wanted him this year, and I ranked him 60 places over his ADP. I'm like,
he leads the team in receiving.
What am I crazy over here? But the analysis was that he's just going to be the underneath clearinghouse check down guy because Trevor Lawrence kind of stinks.
He has a higher, but that's true, but he has a higher target per route run than De'Ami Brown. He has the same as Travis Hunter.
Right.
For targets per route run. So he's out doing like De'Ami Brown.
Right.
For targets per route run.
Let's see. You moved him to tight end 18. I already had his ass at 19.
Okay.
Yeah, he was actually my number one sleeper tight end for what it's worth. If you read the draft plan, I kept taking over and over again. I took Hawkinson or Tyler Warren, but every time I took Hawkinson because he's a little older, I'm like, or a couple times I took like maybe Andrews or Kelsey. I'm like, yeah, give me Brenton Strange every time. You think it'll keep up? I actually projected, believe it or not, I did preseason rankings, and they only showed the rankings, but I actually did projections. I went back, I looked, I projected him to catch 67 balls this year, and he's on pace to catch exactly, I believe, 67.
Yeah, you're at this point, you've absolutely nailed it. I'll do you one better. Live right now, I've just moved him ahead in Njoku to 17.
Yeah. No, the only problem I have long term is I do believe he's replaceable.
I believe he's a second round pick for them, so he's got a little bit of security, in my opinion. You're right though. He doesn't like do anything outlandishly well, but he blocks and
run after the catch.
Well, yeah, exactly. So I think he's one of those guys that could end up with like a Noah Gray-esque contract and kind of just be one of those not middling, I won't say middling, but a nice tight end 2 with some tight end 1 spikes in his future. It is only his third year in the league, and we know tight ends break out a little bit later. So I'm inclined to believe that Brenton Strange is legitimately carving out a role, because it's not like they have chemistry with anybody else while they have Trevor Lawrence.
Maybe in 2-3 months, everyone's going to be very high on him, and I'll be like, people love Strange. Da, 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 da. All right, well, let's get into the questions we have. We already ran our mouths for 40 minutes here on Hump Day.
John, it's a thing. You've got two people that love to talk football and lots to talk about. That's definitely going to happen from time to time. But we have our super chats here to get to. Rob Milner sent a super chat. Guru Hampton for Jacobs and or Judkins for Benson. Where do you lean?
Ooh. I wouldn't. That's a tough one. I like Judkins more than Benson.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind that one.
Yeah, I like that one. The thing with Benson, we talked about this last night a little bit, like Ryan's all in. I always say, and you've heard me say this, when the starter goes down, we always think we know who the backup is going to be that takes on the role, and we're often wrong. I am concerned that DeMarcado is going to get more of the, kind of pass reps. Now they're going to have time to practice it and like plan for it. So
sure.
I'll take Judkins here, and I think I would also potentially take Hampton over Josh Jacobs.
I mean, it's a whole different bowl game here.
If it's a dynasty question for sure.
Oh, this is dynasty.
I'm not sure. I just every time I answer a question, it's coming from dynasty brain. So take that for what you will. But I think you're right. Judkins over Benson for sure. Man,
Judkins. Oh, are you kidding me? How great he looked. I mean, this kid, whoo, baby. I mean, I'm even a little blown away, and I freaking love Judkins. Like, it's so good. I wish this ugliness didn't happen. I would have been all in on him. I don't even know if I actually listed him. I think I just kind of like wash my hands of it almost, because we didn't know, but I did make sure I ranked him pretty high.
I'm happy it happened because I got to get more of him.
Yeah, I know.
I'm happy in that. Again, dynasty brain, I'm here, but like it gave us a buying opportunity. He looks unreal.
He looks
I have him ranked ahead of Henderson in dynasty, so I'm all in. Taylor Thornton with the $4.99 super chat. Traded away Kyron Williams for JSN. Trade away Kyron Williams for JSN. I also have Scatterboo, Mason, Judkins, JCM, and B-Rob. Yes, do that as fast as you can.
Yes. Oh, my God, yes. Oh.
Yes.
Yes, I'll do that like Marv Albert. Yes, and it counts. Yes. 100%, man. JSN is just sick right now. It is sick. And between Mason is going to be the lead back for the Vikings the whole season. Aaron Jones will return in a secondary role. And Judkins obviously will hold it down all year. Yeah, we're doing that all day long.
Yeah, all day. I'm absolutely right there.
Freaking Blake Corum looks awesome.
Can I just say this though? Like Blake Corum looks pretty good in the role that he's in, but last week everyone panicked because Corum scored 1 touchdown from inside the 5, and then it was just immediately the Kyron Williams show again.
It was, but Corum was in there early again.
Right, but it's touchdown stuff. It's like he looks now like he might actually just get some backup reps, which is nice. He's not like a totally dead asset.
Yeah.
Again, Twitter was going insane with the death of Kyron Williams. One more. He just got paid, guys. Like,
oh, hey, true.
but Corum is a must-have backup. I will say that.
Yeah.
Walk Daddy 199. I get Worthy, Brees, and Tet for Ken Walker, Jacoby, and T. Do it.
Get Worthy?
Question mark.
Nah, I can't back a Jet. I mean, I know Brees looks good. Running well, moving well, contract year. I still can't do it. Worthy is a complete unknown at this juncture. Well, not complete, but, and then Tet, great, but your ceiling is a little limited here. Floor's nice, but the ceiling's a little limited with the offense. KW is Walker, right? I mean,
yes.
Walker could be a league winner. Myers is awesome. All he does is get it done. T, I'm not that high on, but, it's one of those things where I'm panicking, but they'll probably figure things out to an extent. I still don't like T that much, but yeah. What do you think? I'm going to go with I would do the deal. Basically. Oh, no. I would not do the deal. Because he's getting Worthy, Brees, and Tet, right? I'm not doing that.
Man, that's
you
tough.
like it?
This Trey Tucker stuff is actually, it might be a little real.
It might be a little real. I get that. There's more upside on this side.
So it's
the
Brees.
Worthy, Brees, Tet side has got more upside, but I also think it's got a little bit more downside.
So it looks like Brees or Ken Walker. I'll take Ken Walker. It looks like Jacoby or Worthy. I'll take Worthy because I like players. It's close. I like players that can score me 25, and I don't care about a 0. I talk about that a lot. And then Tet for T, and I think I would take Tet. So I think safer is the Ken Walker side. I think the more upside is the Worthy side. I want the upside side, but I mean, you made out a phenomenal case for the safety of the bit of the Ken Walker side. So it depends how you want to play and what your risk tolerance is.
Well, I would say this, if it were me, I'm just not doing it.
That's fair.
Because to make a deal like that, it's got to measurably improve your team. I don't know if that measurably improves your team.
Exactly. Yep. Totally fair. I'm 100% understanding of that. Scanning with the 499 full PPR. He's 1-2 with no CD Lamb and have Pearsall as a replacement. Do I package both to get someone that really helps now or be patient? I mean, the high ankle sprain is nasty for wide receivers.
Yeah, I mean, I would probably be patient with Pearsall because how many other guys are you going to find out there who fit the profile of Pearsall right now? In a good offense overall. Huge role. I think Ricky's a pretty damn good CD replacement. Getting volume most weeks here. It's only 3 games, but it's been great volume for 2 of the 3 and decent volume for the third. What was it, like 6-7 targets at week 2? Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't. I would be patient and hold on to Pearsall. Hopefully, he can fill in CD's shoes, and you're going to need another replacement. And hopefully in a month you get them both back. We don't know who's available and all that, but I would say general statement, I'm going to be patient.
Yeah, there's only a few. Usually there's only a few teams in a league that would be able to take on that type of thing with CD Lamb. So you're limited in your packages that you could acquire. You're probably taking a hit overall. I'm with Guru here. Of course, start sit. We have Sativa or Indica. I am a Sativa guy personally.
Sativa.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't even know what these words mean. No, I do. Sativa all day long, guys. Come on now.
Manny Fave with the 499. Is this the best time I'll ever get to sell Monty? They have Cleveland next week. Yes.
Yeah, I mean,
if you want to, I mean, I think Monty's an underrated asset. I've been buying dynasty wise because he's a memed out player because of the Gibbs is going to get 80% of the workload. He was never going to get that. They love David Montgomery there, but I mean, he got to play a atrocious Baltimore team we talked about at the top that looked great. I say yes. What say you?
Yeah, I'm fine. Yeah, I mean, Monty is going to be fine. but there'll be a lot of games where he doesn't score and he comes up a little small for you, and he's coming off a high-profile, explosive performance. The perception there, he's one of these guys that you don't love him. You're like, oh yeah, baby, I got Monty, let's go. But you don't mind having him at all. I was in on him the last 2 years, actually. This year I was like, not feeling it, but man, he did look damn good. He is durable as hell. He's available, but yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm fine with it. If you could flip him a little bit at a little bit of a raised value there after Monday night. Yeah, I'm fine with that.
All right. I definitely agree there. Scanny again said 1 and 2. Should I be worried about Henry as RB1? No.
Nah. I mean, you tell me, how much of it is Ricard out the last 2 games?
Like, Henry himself looks good, right?
Looks
like,
all right.
Running the football, he looks like Derrick Henry. He's got 242 yards, 3 touchdowns. He's got 8 first downs. The missed forced tackles have been a little bit down. He only has 4, but a 1.35 yards after contact. Big explosive run still. Like, I'm not.
O-line's still good too.
Well, for the run, I mean, every time I see Falele try to pass protect,
that Rosengarten, man, he's a grader.
Yeah, he's unreal. But Falele beside him makes me want to projectile vomit every time I see him try to pass block.
What a great pick Rosengarten was, though, man.
Phenomenal. And Linderbaum, great. So not concerned here. It's the fumbles, and 2 of them are standalone national primetime games, right? Without it being, if these were noon games that he's fumbling on, people don't care as much. If he's not fumbling right before, right, they're trying to make a drive to win the game back-to-back times, like those fumbles outright cost the Ravens both games. No one's talking about it. So I would.
By the way,
I'm not concerned.
I like this schedule. Let's say after the bye, starting week 7, Chicago, Miami, Minnesota. By the way, Minnesota, you can run on them. Cleveland, Jets, Bengals, Steelers, Bengals, Patriots.
Yeah,
that's good. And then Green Bay, week 17. That could be a little bit of a problem, but I like that schedule after the bye. I think he'll be fine.
Yep, I'm not worried at all. It's just national. It's talking heads talk. Like, we're talking heads, but you know what I mean. Walk Daddy again with the 199. Would you trade Chase Brown for Trevion Henderson?
Yes,
immediately,
I think so.
quickly.
Yeah, I'm doing it. I'm doing it. It's just go with the momentum, and the momentum now is downward for Chase Brown and upward for Trevion. Man, it's crazy, but yeah, I'm going to do it.
Yeah, the like influencers on TikTok will say walk, don't run. Is it from T Will? Hey, shout out.
Hey, I invented that, by the way. Like 30 years ago, I used to say dive to your keyboard now. Dive.
I love that. That's good. Hey, shout out T Will. He's coming from the Winnipeg Sports Talk crew, show that I do every week here in Winnipeg with
Look at that very generous super chat, and that's Canadian though. That's not as generous as it seems. No,
we're trying over here. It's not our fault. We have monopoly money. But shout out for the $6.99 Canada. Is Jordan Mason a league winner or a sell high? Tough schedule coming up, and Jones will come back eventually. I don't know if he's a league winner, but I'm not selling.
I think he might be a league winner.
You think he will, even with this? Okay, I like that.
He looks unbelievable.
He looks great.
And their O-line, again, we have yet to see a game with their O-line in full strength.
True.
And it's early in the season. Think about that. Like, their O-line might be the best in football in a month. I know that's a little bit of a hot take, but I don't know about pass pro, I guess, but the blocking, man, I'm telling you, Donovan Jackson is awesome. They got to get Kelly back. I feel really good. Mason looks freaking great. I think he's a league winner.
I'm not even really that concerned about Aaron Jones.
I'm not at all.
He is he's just one of those players that I think he's kind of cooked.
Just use him
personally,
like the Rams used Marshall Faulk that year. They had Steven Jackson. Remember that year? They drafted Steven Jackson, and they kind of used Falk for a year or two as a secondary guy, third down back. That should be Aaron Jones. So that's why I think Jordan Mason. I said he's a league winner. He's not going to shatter leagues, but he could finish.
Cost.
He could finish. Cost. Forget about it. He's a
Yeah.
league winner. He was also on my list. I had a very good year so far running back calls, quite frankly. A lot of my guys are doing really well, other than Chase Brown, Mason, Scattaboo. There's a couple others. Pollard's been a little bit of a buzzkill, but looks pretty good so far. I'm sure I'm missing somebody else, but Mason, man, I made him, and he was getting love, and I'm like, I got to be above the love. And I made it a point to rank him over that love, basically. And it got a little dicey there because I'm like, wow, we're getting up there now. But let me see where I had him ranked, just for, S's and G's. Just always want to make sure I get it right or do it fairly well. Let's take a look here. And of course I could. Oh, here he is. No, I thought I had him, but I lost him. Here he is. Okay. All right, there it is. ADP, actually, the ADP moved a little bit, 102, and I had him at 89. So that's what I'm saying. A round above the ADP, that's an endorsement. That's what I'm looking to do.
Yep, absolutely. He's also a Dynasty Points Market Report favorite. Andy Buckler and we call them fat-ass running backs because, they don't always look the most explosive. They're not always a 20-point guy, but they'll get you 10 to 20, but boy, they can get you 18 to 20. And when they're free like that, we want to buy. Josh with the $4.99. I'm not trying to be a rankings bish. The site has Judkins, Scattaboo, and Benson over Ken Walker this week in 0.5 PPR. Guru, they need the Guru ranks. Do you agree?
I have not done them yet. Let's see here. Oh,
let's call it a first glance.
Oh, I'm going. I gotta wait a second here. Let's take a look.
Hey now.
Walker. I feel like Walker will do pretty well this week. Scattaboo. Chargers they're gonna need Scattaboo.
Yes,
they're gonna need him big time. This will be a game where he could get some checkdowns against that zone D. It's probably going to confuse the quarterback. I think I'd probably sit Judkins for K-Will.
Okay, I think I'm with you there. So, and 0.5 PPR. So, I can definitely see that.
Yeah.
Thornton wants to know, trade away Brian Thomas Jr. for Ladd. Is it a good move?
Well,
it's tough right now. That's
I absolutely got Brian Thomas Jr. wrong so far, horribly wrong. But I will say I did say all summer that Ladd a little overrated here. I thought the ADP was a little high. I know he's still good. We all love him. But man, Quentin Johnston, this is real. He's better. He's improved. He's catching the ball better. I know he's kind of morphed into, I guess, a zone beater guy, but I think that's real. So I think unless Keenan Allen gets hurt, I think if you want Ladd, you're counting on Keenan Allen missing time.
Yeah. I think
now
with you.
Now it is interesting because would you take Ladd at 80% of what we thought he'd be over Brian Thomas Jr., who is 60% of what we thought he would be?
I think Brian Thomas Jr. turns it around. We talked about this at length. So I'm leaning higher upside. To me is BTJ. Just I'm not willing to give up. And maybe that's
I agree.
Taking
the deal was trading BTJ for Ladd. So we're gonna say no.
I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say no to that.
Agreed.
We have a 5 from Mr. X because I'm going to butcher that name if I try to pronounce it. 12-team standard. Send Swift and Pacheco for Javonte to RB needy team. What are your thoughts? Do the injuries in Dallas scare you off of Javonte?
Yeah, I do it. It is hard to visualize this working for Javonte all year. But on the other hand, Miles Sanders stinks. The rookie's nowhere to be seen. The O-line's not bad. Javonte looks really good. You take away that fumble, of course, and that wasn't an egregious fumble, I don't think. I mean, it's real. Hey, I mean, anybody who's following me, they know I love Javonte like a freaking son, and I killed people for half a decade. But hey, I guess better late than never. I think it's real. I think it sticks all year. I mean, he's a bigger dude. He's runs with power. You know, he's got a little bit of the juice back. He's a great receiver. I mean, this week alone, Sunday Night Football, I'm thinking Javonte catches like 9 balls in this game.
Yeah, I think it's real as well. The only thing that concerns me is the juice going to be there by like week 9. But I think that, remember, this is a team that kept feeding Zeke during the time where Zeke was an absolute shell of himself.
And Javonte, what is he? He's still only like 25, right? Maybe
Yep.
26.
Yep, he looks pretty good after the fumble early.
Yeah,
We
25.
Yeah, we got a little bit more of Miles Sanders than we would have liked, but I could see, another one of these James Conner-esque contract extensions for Javonte. Like, I think it's real. I do this deal personally.
Yeah, I'm doing it. I feel. I mean, the Cowboys are kind of a mess, but Dak is kind of dealing. So yeah,
Yep,
I'm and Javonte again. The 3-down skill set, and I lost 2 freaking props in week 1 on Javonte because, and I'll tell you exactly why, because Brian Schottenheimer and their staff, they're like, whoa, we got to give a role, got to do something to utilize Miles Sanders. We can't, so let's make him the 3rd down back for those first 2 or 3 quarters. He stunk. And then what happened? Javonte's catching the rock ever since. What else?
All right, sounds good. Would you trade Kamara for Scatterboo?
Yes. Oh, God, yeah. All day. Kamara has a couple runs where I'm like, hey, still got the contact balance and all that, but otherwise, you're not getting the targets. Was it 2 of the 3 games we didn't get it? Totally touchdown dependent. I mean, it's not as bad as I thought it would be, but, I mean, you got to bake into there the possibility that in 2-3 months, Kamara may fall off a cliff.
It's the passing work for me, and I think he's going to make an appearance before not. So I definitely want out. That is a good trade to go and make right now.
Absolutely.
Go Blue. Go Blue has. Why is it so quiet on the Joe Mixon front? I have him in my IR spot, but I believe that's garnering 1 too many injured players on my bench. Do I drop Mixon?
I have no idea. I mean, why has that been quiet?
I'm not dropping him.
No, I probably wouldn't.
They're going to need him because Nick Chubb looks terrible.
Right.
Don't drop him yet. Wait a little bit longer. Little too early.
It is still too early. Yeah.
Unless your waiver is packed full of impactful players, which it's rare. And I actually like Woody Marks. Woody Marks is a very good pickup for us. We talked about him on the market report. We're probably going to talk about him again on Thursday, Friday. So I do like me some Woody Marks. Don't drop him yet. Go Blue. Hang tight, buddy.
Yep.
Scanning with another $4.99 full PPR trade. CD plus Cook or Henry plus Pearsall plus Harvey. Damn.
Jesus.
For Bijan plus Ladd. Or do just CD plus JMO for Ladd. Do not do CD plus JMO for Ladd.
Don't do any of these, Scanny.
You don't like no, if that's James Cook, no. Don't do that. Yeah,
you're giving up. Well, Cook is a freaking very valuable asset.
Oh, he's been unreal. Captain James T. Cook is definitely real.
Pearsall's better than Ladd. And then now you're also going to throw in a second half upside of Harvey. I mean, basically just to get Bijan.
Yeah, I know what you're looking for. You're looking for the studs angle, losing CD, but I think you're in good shape, Scanny. I think a trade like this shifts you a little bit too much. If it goes south, it's almost impossible to recover.
Yeah, you can always go Scanny the waiver wire, exactly. if need be.
That's right. Hang tight, sit tight. A few more rolling in here. Go Blue with new play caller in Tennessee. Does this help Ridley? Oh, it better help somebody because Jesus.
Yeah, it certainly can't hurt.
He's also fired, right? Like, no way, Schottenheimer. Not Schottenheimer. Why am I forgetting?
D'Amico?
No, the head coach in
Callahan Auto Parts.
He's gone, right? Like there's
Yeah.
he's like relinquishing that. Like he's terrible. And what he's supposed to be a quarterback guru, 9.1 fantasy points per game for the number 1 overall pick.
No, and this week, forget it, because he's going to see a lot of Derek Stingley this week. So, yeah, so there's one I will apologize for, because my top 12 guys in my draft plan, a lot of good calls in there, but this Ridley one is sticking out like a sore thumb.
Yeah, absolutely.
I had Debo on the list in terms of my top 12 guys that I want. I had Debo, I had Ricky on there, Henderson, Devontae Adams, Hawkinson, which maybe that will work out. Who else? There's one or two good. Chase Brown, unfortunately. Never going to get. I thought, I'm going to get them all right this year. All 12. Well, no, but maybe 8 of the 12 is not too shabby. Oh, John Taylor, of course. What else we got?
From Fish Reaper, one of my favorite usernames with the super chat, Jonathan Taylor and Mooney for Mason and Ricky. No, keep Taylor.
No, this is already really looking like, what was that, 2021, the Dream Taylor year where he killed everybody, league winner guy. I mean, it's so unbelievably great how everything just, the catches, and by the way, there's some data that isn't great running that I happen to notice with Taylor. So I'm like, I can't remember. Maybe it was, I don't know. There was a couple of data points. I'm like, oh wow. So maybe we could do a little bit better running the ball. I mean, the thing about Taylor I love is, and I've said this from the beginning. In fact, I predicted it his rookie year, even when he was struggling. I'm like, I just have visions of this man getting fed the rock, wearing down a defense, and then ripping off long runs one after another almost. That's kind of been his profile. That was the profile in that breakout year. And that happened last week. I mean, it was great because I was about ready to lose that prop till he ripped off that 46-yarder, baby. God, I love him. Huh?
He looks great. Like Jonathan Taylor, remember my dark horse call to finish as the RB1 this season. And boy, that looks...
He's a throwback because in this day and age, if you're around as long as he's already been around with and there's already touches, you're already on the downside. Not this guy. He's like maintaining peak production in the prime for like 4 years. And there's no end in sight. I think he can keep this up for another couple of years. Let's not forget, back in the day, guys were good at 30. John Riggins ran for more yards at over 30 than he in his 30s than his 20s.
I mean, Curtis Martin, right? My GOAT, Fred Taylor. I can keep going. That was my period when I was playing running back and I had to watch running backs to try to get better. Those are my guys right there, Guru.
Here's my memory. This is how good my memory is. I remember being sniped Curtis Martin in my draft, his rookie year. What was that? Was that 05? I don't know why. No, that can't be 05. No, my God, no. But anyway, he was a 4th round pick in my draft, Curtis Martin.
Mm-hmm.
That's how crazy my memory is, because I was going to take him in the 5th. And somebody took him. My nemesis took him in the 4th. I'm like, you son of a boom. Anyways, what else?
Big Poppy David Ortiz wants to know Benson over Swift this week, Dak over Wentz, Mariota if Jaden doesn't play, and he says, get there.
Yeah, well, Dak definitely. I know it's a tough matchup. I know. I still feel like he'll get it done. Wentz across the pond. I think they'll run a lot. I don't know. It's going to be a little bit of a slugfest there. I don't know what that total is, but
that is it is early, so
yeah, it's early. Well, I mean, honestly, I'd go Mariota.
Yeah. He looked pretty good running that football in.
I don't know why I didn't go with his rushing prop, because just like he's doing this, he's hitting it, but I guess I didn't know he was officially cleared to start. When was that official that he was starting?
I believe that was Saturday.
That's my problem.
put up props on Friday. I didn't revisit. I should have hit that. But anyway, yeah, I'm going Benson over Swift this week. Yeah. I mean, Swift, he stinks. I can't take it. There's a couple of runs where he looks all right, but, I'm sure he bounced it, Yeah. No, I can't stand Swift. I know it's the Raiders, but I'm going Benson.
Yeah, and Joey says, quit being lazy and get back on Sirius XM in the morning show, even just a couple days a week. He doesn't know, Guru. You're working harder now than you did when you were on Sirius for the people here with Fantasy Points.
Oh, I couldn't make it. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do what I do here and do that morning show, let's say 3 hours a week. But I've been going on twice a week, man. I'll be on tomorrow. Thursday night special, the last 2 weeks is hit, by the way. Last week it was Waddle, and the week before it was Ertz. So I come on for the Thursday night special, and then we do a little Skank Squad action, which I remember my Skank Squad quarterback was Caleb Williams this past week, by the way, and I guess the joke's on me. But it's hard to find a quarterback who is a good quarterback who's going to do poorly. You know why? Because there aren't any good quarterbacks. So there's like 3 of them. So I screwed that up. But anywho, what else? Anything? We're done?
That is it for the Super Chats. We're at 1 hour and 6. Guys, again, if you asked a question you didn't get, and we weren't able to get to it because, again, time, we are limited. Guru's got to get to VSIN. Drop them in the comment section. After this video is done, I will be answering them all day like I have done. Guru, final thoughts before we get out of here.
Well, I saw that, by the way, and I saw the video last week getting a lot of likes or plays and comments. I liked a couple of them. I apologize. I always apologize. I wish I could keep up with everybody on Discord, liking all the comments. I just can't do it, man. I cannot freaking do it. But I do see a lot of them. I get a lot more. We get a lot more love, that's for sure. So thank you for that. Appreciate it. All that good stuff. I don't have anything of note, but I will be bearing down. I am pissed about last week's props. I went 4-1 with my top 5. That's good, but I had some bad beats there. But if you do the props, pay attention to those top 5, because while it's been a little shaky as always, with the props, because I picked too many of them, so it's a lot of losses. But if you look at the top of the list, they're pretty good, so far. But that's it. I'm ready to rock and roll, and I won't stop until basically we finish the Sunday live stream and I go downstairs and watch the games. So let's go for week 4.
That's right. Well, again, we'll see you guys next week. Remember, drop your questions in there. I'll be there answering for Guru. I'm your trusty sidekick, Tommy T-Bone Tipple. We'll catch you guys next week for Hump Day with Hansen.
What? Why are you shaking your head?
You're welcome.